What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and I'm gonna run a clip for you guys right quick. Let me know if y'all notice a pattern starting to emerge with all of this.
We turn now to this newly revealed police report that offers graphic details into a sexual assault claim against Donald Trump's pick to run the Department of Defense. The police report is now published for anyone to read. Pete Hegseth's lawyer maintains it was a consensual encounter. CBS's Nicole Killion was asking tough questions today on Capitol Hill.
Vice President-elect J.D. Vance played host to Defense Secretary pick Pete Hegseth on Capitol Hill today, just as the news broke of a graphic newly released police report that detailed Hegseth's involvement in an alleged sexual assault in 2017.
Did you sexually assault a woman in Monterey, California?
I have, as far as the media is concerned, I'll keep this very simple. The matter was fully investigated, and I was completely cleared, and that's where I'm going to leave it.
According to the report, a woman referred to as Jane Doe met Hegseth during a conference at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Both were drinking with a group at the hotel bar when Doe said things got fuzzy. A nurse who treated her later said Doe believed something may have been slipped into her drink. She then recalled being in a hotel room when Hegseth took her phone from her hand. When she got up to leave, Hegseth blocked the door with his body. Her next memory was when she was on a bed or a couch and Hegseth was over her. His dog tags were hovering over her face.
I don't know the young lady.
Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin said Hegseth addressed the allegation in their meeting.
I don't think there's any way in the world you're going to say that this was a sexual assault.
What makes you so confident about that?
Have you read the report?
I actually have. I've got it right here.
I read the report too. It's pretty clear that of what took place. It was pretty clear that it was. She definitely wasn't drugged to a room. It was two people flirting with each other.
Well, it also said she couldn't get out of the room.
Well, that's one person's opinion.
Hegseth's attorney told CBS News police found the allegations to be false and claimed it was Hegseth who was intoxicated and the woman who was the aggressor. He also confirmed the Fox News host paid the woman an unknown sum of money after she threatened to sue, fearing it could cost him his job.
The district attorney in Monterey said tonight that her office declined to file charges against Hegseth because it determined that they could not be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Nora?
All right, Nicole Killion with those tough questions tonight. Thank you.
Right, so are they going to do this with every single cabinet pick for Donald Trump's administration? Like, they've done this with everybody, it seems like now. Like we're waiting on the rest of them to come out with some. They're either a Russian asset or there's some kind of sexual misconduct allegations. But it's all allegations. All of it, every single bit of its allegations. These people are just trying to manipulate the crap out of anything and everything they can. Check this out, y'all. I came across this very interesting article earlier. Trump's transition team turns to Project 2025 after disavowing it during the campaign. So that headline right off the jump would insinuate that, oh, they're going to Project 2025 playbook. They're not even in office yet. So how can they go to the Project 2025 playbook, you ask? This is great. Check this out, y'all. President-elect Donald Trump and his allies disavowed the conservative Project 2025 during the election, seeing the conservative transition plan and policy blueprint as a liability after Democrats used it to attack his campaign. Some close to Trump even suggested those tied to the effort would be shut out of a potential administration. This is just great, y'all. This is just great. They are whinging. They are having to manipulate the facts to get a point across. When you have to manipulate the facts to get a point across, that tells you something about the arguments you're making, about the merits of the arguments that you are making. They made themselves nuclear. Howard Lutnick, the co-chair of Trump's transition and his nominee to serve as Commerce Secretary, told CNBC in September. But with the campaign over, Trump's transition team is turning to Project 2025 to help staff the next administration. Already, transition officials are taking suggestions for potential hires from the expansive personnel database created by Project 2025, a person familiar with the situation told NBC News. Okay, so let's get this straight. Okay, so this has nothing to do with Project 2025 as a matter of fact, right? The substance of what the Democrats were arguing in Project 2025 was the policy prescription. That's what the Democrats were fear-mongering over. Oh, well, this is insane, blah, 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 blah. They didn't ever mention anything about the personnel. So you get a conservative think tank to put together a bunch of policy prescription, and then on top of that, they say, hey, look, here's also a bunch of key cabinet members you could choose from. A load of people, because we know from, I think, Joe Rogan, that Donald Trump, any president, when they come in, they have to make about 10,000 appointments. Of course, they don't make all 10,000 appointments, but they have to make a lot, like hundreds of appointments to, and then those people go on to make some appointments as well. It ends up being about 10,000 appointments, which is insane. But, okay, so you've got this conservative think tank, and then you've got all these appointments you need to make, right? So you're going to pick from conservatives naturally. So when they make this expansive list, don't you think there's going to be some overlap there? Right? These people are just manipulating the crap out of everything. They're acting like, oh, he's implementing Project 2025. And he's not even in office yet, y'all. Check this video out.
Tom, John Radcliffe is a politician. He's not a foreign policy expert, and he's a very partisan political figure who, when he was director of national intelligence for about 8 months at the end of the Trump administration, showed a willingness to shade intelligence, to use intelligence in a way that he knew benefited from Donald Trump. At the same time, he's viewed in foreign policy circles as a grown-up, as somebody who has some grounding, having held the job of director of national intelligence, and as somebody who was not willing to go along with Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. But I'll go back to the partisan stuff. One example that stands out during his tenure is that he declassified some intelligence that the U.S. intelligence community had obtained from Russia that purported to show that Russia had concluded that Hillary Clinton was trying to concoct a story of Donald Trump's connections to Russia in order to damage Donald Trump. That was disinformation. And even at the time he released it, he said that they weren't sure whether this was true or whether this was Russian mischief. A lot of Democrats saw that as kind of a dirty trick, a way to use intelligence to benefit Donald Trump. So that's what Democrats would say are the negatives about him. On the positive side, though, testimony from the January 6th committee showed that he was not willing to go along with Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the election. He advised against White House officials participating in that. He said it would be bad for Donald Trump's legacy, and he did not come up in any of the criminal investigations of what happened during that period.
Okay, so these people are just outright lying. Well, like, what are you talking about there, buddy? Come to find out that Russian disinformation was actually true. Hillary Clinton absolutely made up the Steele dossier and all this other fake news to make Donald Trump look like a Russian asset. What the hell are they talking about here? Like, this is bogus news reporting, and this is coming from NBC of all places. But, as we know, NBC is one of the worst. They are the manipulator in chief, if you will. These people, they have no bounds whatsoever. They will manipulate anything and everything to suit a narrative. That's what they're all about, trying to go after John Ratcliffe. Like, what are you talking about here? Like, what's really going on with these people? They're just whinging. They're doing anything and everything they can to try to make Donald Trump's transition team and Donald Trump's administration look bad. But they're doing a very piss-poor job at doing it. They're whining and whinging and doing all this garbage. It's funny to watch. It's freaking hilarious. But let's keep going with this article because it's fascinating, y'all. While Project 2025's massive book of conservative policy recommendations received most of the attention from Democrats, a central part of the effort was putting together a database that officials had framed as a conservative LinkedIn to help staff an incoming Republican administration. The person familiar with the transition said officials overseeing plans for some departments and agencies have started to reach out to potential hires whose names and contact information were part of that database. Individuals helping to fill out the personnel teams for the Trump transition operation have sought and used information from the Project 2025 database because of the enormity of the task of filling out the more than 4,000 political appointee jobs that will become vacant in 2025, this person said. That's a lot of people, right? Like, this is so absurd for them, for that headline, if you will. Like, what are they trying to say here? It borders on an outright lie. But that's what they have to do. That's the only thing they can do to make Donald Trump look like an evil orange man, right? Don't forget the guy's Hitler. He's Orange Hitler, if you will. Right? I saw this freaking hilarious post on X the other day. It was Hitler, and it looked like he was doing the Trump dance, right? Doing the Trump dance. And the person who posted it said, I knew it. Hitler does the Trump dance or whatever. And I responded with, yes. Who do you think taught Trump the Trump dance? It was Hitler, his life coach and mentor, for crying out loud. Right? And people just went off on me for that, like as if they couldn't sense the sarcasm. I even threw in a LOL at the end of it, but they must have not have read the whole thing. They just saw that and just went off on me for some reason. I thought it was freaking hilarious. Like, these people are just absurd and insane and all of the above, if you will. Yeah, let's keep going with this. Whew. There's a lot of positions to fill, and we continue to send names over, including ones from the database, as they are conservative, qualified, and vetted, the person who worked on the Project 2025 said. Hard to find 4,000 solid people, so we're happy to help. The receptiveness of using the Project 2025 database for potential hires comes as the transition has already shown it is open to tapping contributors to the effort for administration jobs, including Tom Homan as board czar, Brendan Carr as chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, and John Ratcliffe as CIA director. Both Homan and Ratcliffe were listed as contributors to Project 2025, while Carr wrote a chapter on the FCC. So Brendan Carr had nothing to do with this. I understand exactly what you're saying now. You guys are just outright insane and whinging. No, they're not going into anything Project 2025. Like, nobody disavowed that part of Project 2025, by the way. Like, they're trying to say that Donald Trump disavowed. He disavowed some of the policy in it, right? He doesn't disavow other policy in Project 2025, like getting rid of the Department of Education, as a matter of fact, because that's part of Project 2025, to be honest with you. Right, some of Project 2025 was great. Some of it was like, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea, but I don't know enough about economics and politics to actually have any opinion on some of that stuff. Some of that's really esoteric, policies. Some of it's really deep state crap, if you will, that I just don't know much about, and I don't really have an opinion on it either way. But some of it's not a good idea, sure. Some of it was a great idea, and I think Donald Trump should, as a matter of fact, adopt a lot of Project 2025. That's what I think. He's disavowed it because the Democrats were attacking it. Like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Oh, we're going to have an authoritarian, y'all. Like, no, just shut your mouth, sit down, and buckle up, because we're about to have a ride, and it's about to be great. We're about to get this country back on track. And wait till you see my next video, y'all. Yeah, Biden, once again, is damaging this country, and it's intentional, and you can tell this. Just look what he's done with the allowing Ukraine to fire missiles into Russia. Yeah, that's not going over well with Russia, is it? Of course, he would probably say, oh, Putin's just an evil dictator, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, he is. But, once again, you don't poke the beehive. You don't start poking at the beehive. Why would you do that? Why would you escalate a war instead of trying to de-escalate, right? Rational, responsible adults attempt to de-escalate situations like that. When you see, once again, I use this all the time, when you see somebody fighting, you don't go over there and start yelling at the other guy like, yeah, you're going to get beat up, blah, 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 you're stupid, blah, and start helping one of the people fighting. No, you don't do that. You go in, rational adults walk over and they try to break it up, or they call the cops to have a police officer come and break up the fight, right? What we are doing is going over there and pretty much punching one of the people fighting. That's what we did. And expecting nothing to happen. Like, come on, that's very irresponsible of Joe Biden to do. He's playing with nuclear war because, once again, if the country of Russia gets into an all-out war with NATO, they're going to get backed into a corner. And if they get backed into a corner, we all know what's going to happen at that point. I don't think I need to spell it out for anybody, but I've gotten way off topic. Folks, Project 2025 is coming, y'all. It's coming. Better prepare for Project 2025. It's fear-mongering, y'all. And once again, the mainstream news is just manipulating everything, and you gotta love to watch it, right? Because we can see through your manipulations, corporate press. We most certainly can. But I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. Don't forget to smash that like button for me. If you're new around here, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching. And y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.